This is Deb Hadachek, pastor at First Presbyterian Church in Beloit, Kansas. But today, I'm standing on the deck at our farm near Cuba, Kansas. We were fortunate to get a little over an inch of rain a couple of nights ago, so things look pretty green. I've lived on a farm and with farmers my entire life. And one thing that I know for certain, rain and when the next rain is going to fall is never far from their minds. Often a farmer doesn't think they got quite enough rain, or maybe they think they got too much rain. Usually, most years, it evens out. Some years, there are floods and droughts that destroy crops, and that's a hard year. Before it rained this week, we had several days of high heat and strong winds, and that was a worry. From my vantage point, I can see the sun rise every morning and the moon in the evening, and we can marvel at the stars and listen to the birds. But we are very dependent on nature for our lives and our livelihood, and it's humbling to be reminded of that. In the 38th chapter of Job, God leads Job on a whirlwind tour of the wildness and the chaos of the universe that God created. Did you ever tell the sun to rise? God asked Job. Who sends torrents of rain that changes barren land into meadows green with grass? I've had people tell me that they don't need to go to church to see God because they prefer to be alone outside with God in nature. I don't disagree with the fact that God reveals himself in the majesty of nature. But I also think people need to gather at the foot of the cross with other frail human beings who have been battered by the storms of life, and think about the overwhelming power of love of Jesus on the cross. Love God, love your neighbor, the same way you want to be loved, Jesus said. We can't control nature and some of the unexpected physical disasters that we sometimes face. But much of the chaos and fighting and drama and heartache and worry in the world today doesn't come from God's nature, but from the hearts of human beings. A philosopher once said that God has provided for all of man's needs, but the world cannot provide for all of man's greed. Go enjoy all the beauty that God has placed within your vision this day. Go love and serve the Lord and your neighbors.